Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I am here and I am so happy it is Wednesday. Y'all, this week, this week has been kicking my ass, and I really shouldn't have had such a rough week because I've been by myself. My family is gone. It's just been me and the dogs. Well, they part of the problem. They just been being them too, but it is what it is. It is my office Friday, as I like to call it. And I am so happy about that because let me tell you, there is no way in hell I could go back into the office this week. I just don't have it in me. But thank you for joining me today. Thank you for listening to that little rant that just went on. And hello, Ken. Thank you for joining me. I'm happy you're here. Um, Yeah, it's been a doozy. It has definitely been a doozy, and I'm just happy, man. I'm just happy right now. Um, just like Miss Ken did. If you are here, just say hi in the comments so that way I know. Um, man, yeah, today's been a day, but we got through it. Well, I should say we all got through it. I ain't gonna just say I just got through it because y'all got through y'all day too, and Lord help me. Yeah, we survived. And like I said, I've been by myself this week, so it really shouldn't have been so hard. I only had to think for me, about me, other than dogs, but it's been a very trying week. Um, really started getting my little work from home situation better, I can say. So I feel I guess you say more comfortable, happy, with my setup and whatnot. So I'm excited about that. Let me get into the wine, kind of getting over some stuff. I've got a red blend, and to be completely honest, I didn't pick this varietal because of what it is. I picked the varietal because the bottle was pretty. Don't judge me, don't come at me. I'm just being completely honest. That's the only reason I picked the bottle was because it was pretty. So, if you don't like my reasoning, oh well, let's see how good it is. That's on me. Who is messaging me? Um, yeah, but I'm happy to be here. Happy to have another bottle of wine that I probably won't be drinking a lot of tonight because I'm not feeling the best. And yeah, but I'm happy I made it on sticking to it. Um, it just hit me last week that my 100th episode will be on Christmas. And I will not go live because it's Christmas, but I am planning a special Christmas episode because, for one, it's Christmas, and two, it's the 100th episode. I have to do something because of that. So, really excited about that. And my 2-year anniversary is coming up next month. So it's just a lot. Oh, I love the way that sounds when the cork comes out. Just really excited. It's a lot to be excited. It don't feel like it's a lot of wine in here. Oh, I guess it is. Oh, I didn't use my pour, so I won't be able to give an accurate tasting. I mean, it's pretty. Again, it's a red blend, so it's not just one varietal. Let's see. I'm gonna let it breathe a little bit and see how well. Oh, look at you. Hi, Drea. A 3-mile run. Girl, you are my motivation to get my life in order because I really do need to lose some weight. a 3 mile run. You my inspiration because I have not gone on a run in a while. Now, I will walk, but I ain't ran. So yeah. Um, I had a good weekend. A good weekend. Other than work kicking my butt. But I had a good weekend. I went to a candle making class on Friday with a friend and some of her family and friends. And it was really cool. I did vlog it. I have not edited at all. But look at my candle. Isn't it pretty? It's so pretty. The inside is lilac as well. And I made this myself. And it smells so good. And I was really excited about that. I was proud of myself for making my own candle. I have not lit it yet. So I really am going to do that soon. And they give you matches. And I'm going to edit this weekend. I got a lot of stuff I need to get out because I ain't been on top of it. Thank you. And, I just said I wanted to match me, my aesthetic. It's a little white mimosa in there. So the scent is really, it's me. It embodies me. So I was really excited about that. What else? Oh, went to a friend of Drea and I, her son turned 2. We went to his birthday party, even though I had a crap ton of stuff to do. I sucked it up, went for a couple hours, and celebrated him. So that was fun. We got to see each other. I didn't hit the pinata like I said I wanted to, but it's okay. I still got some candy, and I left with a candy bag to bring home. So that was good. And yeah, I just got started with the week and excited that it's almost over. But my baby starts school on Monday, so I'm a little sad about that. But it's okay. It's okay. I mean, what else can I do but deal with it? But I'm a little sad about that. But, you know, life goes on. But I'm gonna get started with the conversation for the night because I was really apprehensive about talking about this, but because I have been talking about um, so much, with not just my personal life, but with um, just mental health in general, that when people ask me questions, I feel obligated to, give answers, things like that. And, oh, I don't know what I just did. Um, I feel obligated to talk to people about the things that they or answer, I should say. So um, I've been really focusing on, I guess you can say, keeping myself and my spirits lifted to an extent. And it does get a little hard. So I was telling Dr. Carrie when she was on, the therapist who is really, she was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed having her on, that I self affirm myself daily and I keep them in my medicine cabinet because, for one, I'm going to brush my teeth every day. My multivitamins are in there. So it's making me do it every single day, multiple times a day. And all affirmations are just an outline to help you live and bring your core values to, I guess you can say, the focal point of you. And it's a very creative endeavor, I guess you can say, because they're personalized to you and how you want to do it. one of the biggest reasons that I started doing it was because I had a revelation in therapy where I did see that a lot of my issues were coming from low self-esteem. And I know that probably seems weird to, some people because I do give off, a confidence in a lot of the things that I do, but I did have a lot of other issues that weren't addressed in a certain way. And they all stemmed from not just childhood, but, just living life. And a lot of people struggle with self esteem issues. The only thing with me was it became so bad to the point where it would trigger my depression. So when I tell people I have to work, like I do a lot of self work to keep myself in a healthy mind space. And I suffer, from low self-esteem. And of course, the only person that can help your self-esteem is you because it's you. I don't understand what, I didn't think about that when I was going through a lot of those struggles, but a lot of it came from that I was seeking validation from others. So if I wasn't hearing certain things, then I would get down on myself. I would feel bad about myself. Like when I say my confidence was shot, it was terrible. And I had to do everything that I needed to do for myself to get myself where I am today. And it took a lot of work. It was not an overnight process. It is still a work in process. I am just months in with affirming myself on a regular basis. And I am noticing a difference. Like everything about me is different, and I'm okay with that. I'm really okay. I'm not where I want to be by any means at all. And I'm sure once I get to the point where I feel like, oh, I'm comfortable, I'm happy, another stage of life will happen. And then I've got to learn to maneuver around that and elevate. That's why I tell people all the time therapy is not just a one time thing. It is a constant journey because you're constantly growing. And going through all of that has helped me tremendously. And I'm thankful for every bit of that. But it starts with me. So, one of the things that we had to start with, you start with the basics. Identify the areas that you want to reprogram in your brain. Think about your family, your relationships, your spirituality, finances, health, work, and play. Um, and then set your intentions or goals for each of the areas that you plan to focus on. You are going to, when you start that journey, I always tell people journal, 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 because it really does make a big difference. You are going to be writing so much of yourself in that journal, especially when you start affirming yourself, because there are great rewards from doing that. Like when I say, oh my gosh, I can go on and on and on about that, but you got to start there. And the best way to do it is to journal and look at those areas of your life and see where you're suffering, um, and go from there. Use positive language. Affirmations should focus solely on what you want as opposed to what you don't want. When writing down your affirmations, think of it as I'm living my full creative potential instead of I'm not living a dull, meaningless life. I tell myself all the time, especially when I realized the areas that I needed to focus on for myself. I mean, and I have a picture because it was somebody that didn't believe me. I have not just my affirmations, but I had a friend give me affirmation cards, and they all come with different things. So I'm constantly thinking about myself, but um, because I don't want anyone thinking I'm not, I'm just being, but it's in my medicine cabinet. that helps me the best. But I have one that says you are worthy. I have another one that says you are beautiful. You are enough. And stop sabotaging yourself. That was my biggest thing. I am the biggest self saboteur on the planet. If something good is about to happen, I'm going to find a way to talk myself out of the good that's coming to me. And it doesn't make sense because I deserve every good thing that I have. I deserve it. And that's just all it is to it, is I deserve it. So why would I want to stop my blessings? So I constantly affirm myself to stop self-sabotaging. Look at things from a positive perspective, whereas I was looking at certain things from a negative situation. Now it's just like, okay, well, something better is coming from it, something different is coming from it. And it makes it a lot easier to get through a lot of things. Um, you want to check in with yourself often, frequently, daily, multiple times in a day if you have to. Um, on day one of implementing it, you're going to feel it doesn't feel natural at first. You feel silly. You're going to feel like, what is the point? Am I really going to get out of this what people are saying I'm going to get? But I even affirm my son in the mornings before I leave for work. Like, even though he's not awake when I'm leaving, I whisper in his ear, you're a good kid. You're a smart kid. You're this, you're that, because even while he's sleeping, he's getting that in him. I want him to know these things. So it feels silly. It feels weird because it's not something that you're used to. But the more you do it, the more it feels natural. And you got to check in with yourself. Like, am I truly believing this? Because once you really believe it, there's nothing anyone can say to you that's going to deter you from what you're feeling. So take it slow, but constantly check in, see how it makes you feel, see what you're feeling when you're doing it. And that way you'll know if, okay, it's working. And practice daily. Like I said, I do it every day while I'm getting ready. Because, like I said, I have to brush my teeth. That's why I keep it there, because got to brush for 2 minutes. During that 2 minutes, I'm reading my affirmations. It's constantly being put in me. When I'm having a moment, I reaffirm myself. When I know I'm getting ready to go and get my multivitamin, because I have an alarm set for that. I have 50,000 alarms, y'all. Like, when I say I am the alarm lady, good Lord, I have alarms for everything. And taking my vitamin is one of them, because I will forget. I read them again. And the first couple times, it's definitely it's mind blowing. Because you don't believe it. You're still in that vulnerable state. You're still in an emotional chaos that you're trying to get yourself out of. So just remember to practice daily, say them multiple times a day. So that way, you're the more you pour it in, the more you pour into yourself, the more natural and easy it feels. Uh, be patient. Be patient. Give it time, and then evaluate any changes, that have happened. And that's one of the things where it's like, even if it's something small, I don't journal like other people. I'll write down little things here and there. Like, I open it up and it's like, oh, well, I felt this today. And then I know when I have my therapy session and I write down those little things, she'll ask, oh, well, why did you feel that on that day? And I can tell her why. And then we can break it down. And then she understands. And the more I do this, the easier it is for me to help her help me because I need help. And if the more you do it, the more you'll be amazed at how you feel. The more you'll be in awe of yourself, of how you showed up for yourself. Because who doesn't want to be the best that they can? You are your biggest motivation. I'm gonna say that 100%, and I fully believe it. If I can't keep myself motivated, I can't count on anyone else. Um, like I said, I have been through some very traumatic experiences. I have been through situations where I didn't feel like I deserved certain things because of how others were treating me. And I know I deserve better because I am amazing. I'm one of the dopest people on this planet, and I don't care who does not feel the same way that I do because I know who I am and I like who I am and I like who I'm becoming. And if you don't recognize it and you don't value it, you don't deserve to be in my space on a regular basis. So that's part of why I, I do it too, because I need to know my own worth. And I am worthy of everything that I desire, whether somebody else feels it or not. And I was at a stage where, oh, I can't believe I'm about to be this vulnerable, where I almost felt like I was begging people to care about me. I was desperate to an extent where if I wasn't getting what I wanted, I would be so low on myself. No, seriously, Dre, it's been such a tumultuous time, but in a good way at this point. I don't care how others, feel about me. I care how I make them feel being around me. That is more important to me at this point. Do I make that person feel like they are loved? Do I make that person feel like they're amazing? I don't care how you look at me because I know how I look at me and I know how I feel about myself when I'm doing the things that I'm doing. I deserve everything that I want. So I'm going to have everything I want. It may not happen overnight, but it's going to happen. So now I expect, good things to happen because it's supposed to. And I see the benefits of it. I am reaping the benefits of it because I am putting in the work. I'm believing in myself. I'm believing in the work that I'm putting in. So trust me, there's definitely, I would never tell people to do something that I have not done firsthand, for one. And two, I had to learn to believe in myself. Like when I say it was so low to a point where I would cry, like just cry and cry and cry. Couldn't do things. Like there have been times where when I first started this journey of Yana's Wine Corner, I wouldn't do this live because of how I was feeling. Now, if I'm not doing it, it's because I'm like dying sick. I had something else that may have come up. It's not because of, oh, I'm in my feelings, I cannot do it. I'm showing up for myself consistently now, even if I'm just tired. It doesn't make sense for me to not show up for myself because I am I care about me and I want to do what's best for me. I want to give the best of me. So I don't know if I would have been at the place that I'm at emotionally if I wasn't doing any of this. So that's why I'm a big advocate for constantly affirming yourself. And last, you want to refresh your affirmations as needed. Once you start getting that confidence in those areas where you were really at your lowest, because there's some that are more a priority than others. Me was getting my self-esteem up. So that was my biggest priority, was being able to, one, feel comfortable, confident in myself, believing in myself, knowing that what I deserve and what I do not deserve, knowing when, okay, well, I know I'm doing this, but at this point, I may need to pull back from that. And now that I'm at that place, I don't have to do those affirmations. Then I reevaluate and see, okay, so what other areas am I slipping on? Where do I need to, you know, do better on that? Okay, well, I need to talk to myself about that. And then it's a continual work in progress. So don't feel down on yourself when it doesn't go according to how you think it should go overnight. It's not overnight. Like I said, I've been doing this for a few months now. And when I first started, when I said, let me tell you, I had missed therapy for a couple of months and I made excuses for it. It was like, "Oh, I'm too busy doing this. I'm too busy doing that. This is going on. That's going on." So I wasn't going. And then when my therapist called me and said, why are you not coming?" And I just said, "Well, she said that's not an excuse. Do you care about you?" Well, of course I'm going to say yes, I care about me, but if I really cared about me, I wouldn't stop the things that I need to do to get myself to where I need to get. And I scheduled the appointment and she said, "Do not cancel." And I said, "Okay." It was a week and a half out and I was really going to cancel. In my head, I'm like, I can't do this. I'm going through too much. I've got this going on. I've got that going on. And I was just like, well, I know she said don't cancel, but I don't feel comfortable. I went to my session. Hey, Micah, thanks for joining. Happy you're here. I um I went to my session and she asked how I was. And when I say the floodgates open and I cried for the first, I want to say 5 to 10 minutes. And she let me get it out and she says, "Now what's going on?" And I didn't know where to begin because it was just so much jumbled in my brain and it was all coming out like word vomit because I was such an emotional wreck. But on the outside, I wasn't showing everybody, "Oh, I'm going through things. I'm feeling things. I need somebody to be there for me." I was just going through life, sucking it up. And when she asked me, "How are you?" and I couldn't even formulate a word because it was all going to be a lie if I had tried. And it was that day that I realized I got to make a big change and I got to do it now. And we started slow and she gave me an assignment. And when I say I was so emotional the rest of that day, I couldn't get over how I cried like a baby. I couldn't understand my own emotions. There was just so much going on. I was so overwhelmed that all I could do was I cried the rest of the day, like off and on. I just kept crying. I said, "This is too much for me." And the next day I woke up and I said, "I'm gonna start the work." And that was the morning that I said, I've got to really be focused on me. I can't be focused on everybody else. And while I know I still had responsibilities, I had to focus on me more than anybody. It's just like when you're like, I keep using this analogy with people. When you're on a plane and they're giving you the safety instructions and they tell you when that mask comes down, you put your mask on first before you help, the next person. That is always the analogy that goes through my brain. I cannot be anything to anyone else until I take care of myself. And I really took it serious. I really started doing the extra things that I needed to do. If I need to say no, if I have to cancel, if I have to do all the things to make myself feel better, then that's what I'm doing. And I don't know if I would have stuck to that appointment if one, I didn't have a friend text me after one of my lives and say, "You look sad." Now, for it to show where others can see it, that's when I knew, okay, this is pretty bad. I got to get myself out of whatever I'm going through. And because I don't like to burden people with what I'm going through, I just don't say anything. But then I realized I have such a core group of friends that have been so understanding without judgment. It kind of helped me be able to open up. Your support system is everything in this as well. You don't always have to tell people everything, but just letting them know, hey, I need your support with this. I need this from you. And it lets people know how to be there for you. If I didn't have the people I have in my life, I don't know where I would be. And I'm just going to be honest about that. Between my family and my friends, I don't know where I would be. And because I took it so serious, it has been the greatest journey I can say I've been on next to mother. So just give yourself time and remember the work doesn't happen overnight. You got this. And if you want to reach out to me, I'm here. I help people, anytime. But just give yourself grace. You have to show yourself more grace than you do anybody else because that's the only way you're going to get through this stuff. So just take it one day at a time. Know that it eventually will be okay. You will not fail unless you give up. That's the only time you fail. And then all things will be great. But um, I'm going to end on that note because I don't want to, over push the issue, but just know you are your biggest asset and you deserve everything that you want. Put the work in. It really does, it really does pay off in so many amazing ways. And yeah. And the wine is pretty good. I had to let it breathe and it's pretty good. So I thank you for joining me tonight. This was definitely worth me being vulnerable, and I didn't cry. Look who's growing up. I'm really proud of myself. And I want to thank you guys for joining me. And I look forward to being here next week. Next week I have a guest on. I'm really excited about that because this person is pretty awesome as well. So I look forward to you guys being here and joining me with her because I know you guys are going to enjoy her. I just know it. So thank you again for joining me. I will see you next week with a new bottle of wine, a guest that I'm really excited about. And have a great rest of this week. Enjoy your weekend. Remember, affirmations, affirmations, affirmations. You are worth it. And yeah, see you next week.